There we go. Welcome back to another MadTown Hobby video. My name is Keith, and today we're here. We finally got the shop up and running as almost ready for the public. I got a few more things to do. We're bringing in a local artist to do some murals on the walls. We're got a few more signs to put up, things like that, get everything ready. But in the meantime, we've been pumping singles online, getting the website going, and oh man, Star Wars Unlimited has been a huge launch. That box right there. Supply has just about run out online of boxes, and they were 2 days ago maybe $95, and now they're up to $140, $150. I'd say Final Fantasy Games has done it right this time. It's a huge success, fun to play. Everybody's getting into it. So, yeah, we're here for a little bit of an update on what we're going to be covering. This is the first video I've done in a little while. Settling in the new space, getting the background going, getting ready to make some videos. So, I know my audience isn't very big, but if you're seeing this, I'd love to know what kind of coverage you're looking for from me specifically. I have been moving Flesh and Blood, singles, Star Wars Unlimited now, Lorcana, dabbling in some Magic here and there, but you know, everybody covers Magic. I'm more interested in the indie games, smaller thing. I don't know if you can call Lorcana or Star Wars an indie game at this point, but they are a whole different type of business, and it is fascinating to cover those size businesses as well, because they make decisions months and months ahead of time, and they're a big ship that's hard to pivot when they make a mistake. So, for example, Final Fantasy Games announced today that they have they had a backup plan for boxes running out. They've been holding supply, and they're going to start drip feeding that out to distributors so that stores can get boxes to run events. They don't want stores just getting boxes to throw online. They want them to be able to get boxes to host and do drafts, do limited events, get cards to their customers, and be able to get organized play going. So that's exciting news to see. They had a plan for this. The game sold far higher than their expectations, which is great news. It does feel like, it's in the Madison area, Madison, Wisconsin, there are multiple stores that hosted multiple pre-release events, and they were all sold out. So to me, we saw this coming. There's huge demand here, but across the country, across the world, not everybody was as enthusiastic about it as we were here. And now everybody's trying to catch up, and there's no boxes to find for them. So I hope they're able to stick to the channels of distribution, do allocation for the stores that were already going, they're already doing events, get them boxes, get them able to keep their players happy, keep their organized play going. As far as Flesh and Blood Heavy Hitters has been a huge success. I don't know that they're moving so many boxes in stores. Flesh and Blood struggles a little bit from stores not being able to make money off their boxes long term. When a new set comes out, people buy a few to be able to crack it, but if your class isn't represented in that box, then you're just buying one or two cards out of it, or maybe skipping it altogether. Now, the experience as far as limited play has been very good, so stores that do host events are having success there. But, Lorcana and Star Wars are probably gonna push Flesh and Blood out of some stores as they're a more consistent, more widespread audience, I'd say. The Flesh and Blood audience is very competitive, very singular in their focus, that it's about organized play and it's about going to these big events and not necessarily creating a welcoming environment at your local store. Now, that varies depending on your store. You can create a welcoming environment. We've been able in the stores around Madison to attract new players, to grow the player base, and it really comes down to just how do you treat those people when they show up. Again, Flesh and Blood is the kind of game where you may play 50 games before you win if you're playing against competitive people. So you gotta kind of be in the mindset that that's what you want. You want it a hard-earned win, and you enjoy that kind of journey. Yeah, not a lot of people are into that. We've seen that. If you want casual play, Flesh and Blood doesn't have it yet. Those people are going for Star Wars now. The games are quick. The games are best of 3. You can knock it out pretty quick, and the for just having just the initial set out, there are at least 3 viable decks if you want to be competitive. So there is some nice variety. It's not just like when Lorcana came out, the first deck was basically dominating everything. They what was it, Amber Steel or Steel Amethyst? Basically there was one deck and everybody played it. You saw that a little bit with Grand Archive as well when that launched. Now Grand Archive's on to their second full-on booster set that's out. Alchemical Revolution has done really well for the stores that carry it, but what I mentioned just 4 games in the last minute here, and that's, I think, gonna be how 2024 looks. There are a lot of games that are doing well. It's going to be super competitive. I don't know that your local LGS will want to carry them all, but you can create a community with any of these games with, 6-8 players, and that's all you need, and you can get it going. I've seen Pokemon's kind of dropping off. Magic is Magic. There are people always playing it, but the new kids on the block are not indie games so much. They've got money behind them. Lorcana, Star Wars. Grand Archive is definitely an indie game, but it plays very well and the art's good, and where it is, people love it. So that's another one up and coming. So yeah, that's kind of the state of things as I see it in 2024. Now, I'll move on to something else that's up and coming. There are Kickstarter games on the way. You've got Altered, comes out at the end of the summer. There's some big money behind that. We'll see if their QR code, whatever system, can pull people in, but the art is great. The online client, people have been playing on Board Game Arena, I believe, and it's a fun game. People enjoy it. So we'll see when that drops. Completely separate from all that, need to check out a friend of mine, his game 6 Forms, that just launched on Kickstarter yesterday. They're already funded. Kevin, who started this whole operation years ago and has been pushing this dream of developing this game, I am blown away, super impressed by the planning, the investment of time, the knowledge and wisdom behind it. We saw 20, 30, 40 Kickstarter games come up, get a bunch of money, and fail because of poor business practices through the pandemic. And that sort of inspired me. Why do I want to make these videos? Why do I care about the TCG business? You can have the best game, you can have the best idea, you can have the best art, but if the people behind it can't dot their I's and cross the T's and run a good business to support the game, then the game's gonna fail. And I think Kevin is one of the most prepared, one of the best business-minded people I've seen, and you know, one thing I will point out, he is humble about it. And he knows that he's not good at everything. So he's bringing people in who can help with the parts that he can't handle. And that has been refreshing to see. So check out Six Forms on Kickstarter. I'll put a link so you can find it. Go support it. I'm hoping to be able to invest in it as my first Kickstarter retail pledge as a store. And we'll be trying to carry the singles for it and supporting the secondary market for the game as well when that comes out. That's exciting. So again, I got to get practice in getting these reps. Got the new camera, got the new background. Hoping to be able to put out 2-3 videos a week. So if you're along for the ride, I appreciate it. I'm going to ramble. I'm going to practice. I'm going to get the reps in. And we'll see where it takes us. So MadTownHobby.com. Find your singles for Star Wars. I got them on the Pro Player Store. And for TCG Player Pro, they're discounted versus the marketplace, so definitely go through that link to find them. And I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out.